Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the veil of ordinary perception? What truths the ancient sages, mystics, and occult philosophers held in their hearts? Truths that have been whispered through the ages, yet remain largely hidden from the majority of humanity. What if I told you that the mysteries of the universe, hidden in plain sight, hold the key to understanding reality itself? And not just the reality we experience with our five senses, but a deeper, more profound existence that transcends time and space, life and death. This is not a realm reserved for the few or the enlightened. It is the soul's true home, the space where all knowledge, wisdom, and existence converge. Now, if you really want to consider it this way, you see, for millennia, these ancient wisdom traditions, often referred to as the occult, have pointed to a reality far beyond our conventional understanding. The word occult itself comes from the Latin occultus, meaning hidden, and it suggests that there is a vast, unseen world just beneath the surface of our everyday experience. This hidden knowledge is not some dark, nefarious secret, but rather the map to a much deeper understanding of ourselves and the cosmos we inhabit. What did the ancients know that we have long forgotten? The sages, seers, and mystics of ancient civilizations, from Egypt to Greece, from India to the Far East, all spoke of a knowledge that was both spiritual and metaphysical, a knowledge that transcended the boundaries of the material world. They spoke of an essence underlying all things, a divine force or energy that connects everything in existence. This energy is known by many names: chi, prana, the One, the divine light, and the Source. But whatever you call it, the ancient sages understood that this essence was the very fabric of the universe itself. It is the unseen thread that weaves all things together. Yet, despite its profound importance, this knowledge was not meant for just anyone. It was considered sacred, even forbidden. The reasons for this secrecy were varied: fear of misuse, the potential to upset the social order, or simply the belief that such knowledge could only be understood by those who had attained a certain level of spiritual maturity. What these ancient teachers knew, and what they tried to pass on, was that true enlightenment, true wisdom, was not about accumulating knowledge, but about transcending the limitations of the self and realizing one's unity with the divine. F75. Perhaps no question is as universal as this one: what happens after we die? The ancient sages had a profound understanding of death, not as an end, but as a transformation. To them, death was not a barrier, but a passage into another realm of existence, an initiation into a higher state of consciousness. Their teachings suggest that the soul, once freed from the confines of the physical body, moves toward a higher state of being, one that exists beyond time, space, and the limitations of the human mind. These mysteries of life, death, and what lies beyond were not just theoretical ponderings for the ancients. They were practical, spiritual truths that were woven into the very fabric of their teachings. To truly understand life, the sages said, one must first understand death. And to understand death, one must unlock the mysteries of the soul. But what does it mean to transcend this world? To move beyond the limitations of our physical bodies, our senses, and our worldly attachments. For the ancient sages, transcendence was not about escaping the world. It was about embracing a higher perspective. It was about seeing beyond the surface of things and recognizing the deeper, hidden patterns that govern all of existence. It was about understanding that our individual consciousness is a reflection of the greater, universal consciousness, and that by attuning ourselves to this higher frequency, we can transcend the ordinary and enter into the realm of the divine. The occult wisdom teaches that we are not separate from the universe. We are the universe, experiencing itself. What the sages knew was that true freedom, true enlightenment, lies not in rejecting this world, but in seeing it as a manifestation of the divine. Every atom, every being, every thought, and every action is a reflection of the greater cosmic order. One of the most profound teachings of the occult is the concept of sacred geometry. The ancient sages believed that the entire cosmos was structured according to divine geometric principles. From the spiral of the galaxies to the structure of the atom, sacred geometry underpins all of creation. These geometric forms, often seen in nature, art, and architecture, are seen as symbols of the divine order that governs the universe. The study of sacred geometry allows us to unlock deeper spiritual truths about our existence. It is through the understanding of these patterns that we can come closer to understanding the divine nature of reality. But, like all deep wisdom, this knowledge is not given freely. It must be earned through a lifetime of study, reflection, and inner transformation. The journey to awakening, true awakening, is a deeply personal one. It is not a path that can be easily defined or mapped out in a linear fashion. Each soul's journey is unique, and yet all paths lead to the same truth, that we are all interconnected, that we are all expressions of the divine, and that the ultimate goal of life is not to accumulate wealth, fame, or material possessions, but to awaken to the eternal truth of who we are. As a soul traveler, you may find yourself asking, can I truly transcend this world? Or what would happen if I let go of everything I think I know and opened myself to the mysteries of the universe? The response is scattered across the scientific literature on the subject, as several different perspectives have been presented. The ancient sages knew that the answers to these questions lie not in the mind, but in the heart. The journey to transcendent knowledge is not about gathering facts or memorizing teachings. It is about awakening to the truth that resides deep within you. Have you ever stopped to consider the nature of the world you see? The one shaped by your five senses? The one you touch, hear, see, and feel? What if I told you that this reality, the one you experience daily, is but a thin veil over a much deeper, hidden world? In the ancient wisdom of the occult, reality is not just what we perceive with our eyes. The senses are like a screen, projecting a limited version of a far greater reality that exists just beyond our reach. Imagine for a moment that everything you experience is not the whole picture, but merely a reflection of a deeper truth. This truth, these mysteries, are hidden from most, not because they are far away, but because they lie just beneath the surface, waiting for those with the eyes to see. The sages believed that reality is governed by an invisible force, an essence that transcends the material world. This force is not abstract or distant, it is the very substance of existence, flowing through everything. In this view, the physical world is not separate from the spiritual world, rather, it is a manifestation of it. Every object, every being, and every thought is a reflection of a deeper, more profound reality. Think about the concept of energy, something we can't see with our eyes but know to exist because we can feel it. The ancients spoke of prana, chi, or the One, as this unseen energy, a force that connects all things. This is not just a metaphor, but a description of the essential nature of existence. The universe in its purest form is energy vibrating at different frequencies, but it is not the only one. Now pause for a moment. Can you feel the world around you, not as an object, but as energy? Can you sense the invisible threads that bind everything together? Reflect on the times when you felt a sense of awe or wonder, perhaps in nature, in a moment of connection with someone, or during a quiet, solitary moment. This feeling, this awareness, is the hidden reality trying to reveal itself to you. How would your life change if you recognized that everything around you, every person, every leaf, every stone, is connected through a shared essence? What would it be like to see the world, not through the lens of separation, but through the lens of oneness? What happens after we die? It is the age-old question that has perplexed humanity for millennia. For the ancients, death was not an end, but a passage. a continuation of the soul's journey. The soul is eternal, they believed, and life is but a momentary experience within the larger cycle of existence. Death, rather than being an abrupt stop, is seen as a doorway, a threshold to a new state of being. Think of the death of the body, not as the death of the soul, but as the shedding of his skin, a temporary form that no longer serves its purpose. What the body cannot carry, the soul will continue. In the mystical teachings of the ancient sages, the soul is viewed as a traveler, moving through realms of existence. At birth, the soul enters into a physical body, and at death, it departs to return to its true, spiritual nature. The journey of the soul is cyclical, undergoing countless reincarnations, each one an opportunity for growth, understanding, and awakening. The ancient Egyptians spoke of the Ka, the spirit that remains connected to the body until it reaches the afterlife, while the Greeks referred to the Psyche, the soul that transcends death and finds rebirth in new forms. Both traditions, like so many others, agreed that the soul is immortal and that death is merely a stage in a much grander journey. Can you imagine this? Imagine that the essence of who you are, your soul, has lived many lives, has walked many paths, and will continue to do so. This idea of reincarnation offers a perspective on death that frees us from the fear of the unknown. Death is not an abyss, it is a transformation, a return to source. It is merely the shedding of the outer layers to reveal the true nature of the soul. Consider your own life for a moment. How do you view death? Do you fear it, or do you see it as an inevitable transition? If you could live without fear of death, how might that change the way you live?
Decline.
Reflecting on this idea of the soul's eternal journey invites us to look at life itself differently, not as a brief and fleeting moment, but as a series of experiences designed to help us grow and learn. The true purpose of life, according to the sages, is not to accumulate wealth, fame, or possessions. It is to awaken to the truth of who we really are, to remember our divine essence, our connection to the eternal source. What if the answers to life's greatest mysteries already reside within you? What if the key to understanding your place in the universe, your soul's true path, is not something you need to search for outside of yourself, but something you must learn to listen to within? The ancients spoke of intuition as the sacred inner compass, an innate, divine guidance system that connects us to higher wisdom. This inner knowing transcends logic and reason. It is the quiet voice of the soul, the whisper of the divine that guides us through life's complexities. Imagine for a moment that you are walking down the long path, surrounded by trees. You don't know where the path leads, but you feel a sense of knowing, a pull toward a certain direction. This is intuition in action, an inner knowing that does not require proof or external validation. It simply is. Intuition is often overshadowed by the loud voices of the mind, the analytical, logical part of us that wants to have everything figured out. Yet the ancient sages believed that true wisdom lies not in the rational mind, but in the heart and the soul. Intuition is the language of the heart, the soul's communication with the universe. It is not a random feeling or a fleeting thought, but a deep and constant knowing. Can you think of a time when your intuition guided you? Maybe you made a decision that didn't seem logical at first, but later you realized it was the right one. Or perhaps you've had moments where something just felt right, and it turned out to be a profound truth. The more you trust your intuition, the more it becomes a reliable guide. But to hear it, you must be willing to quiet the mind, to tune in to the subtle whispers that arise from deep within. This is where sacred presence comes into play. By living fully in the present moment, you can hear the quiet voice of intuition more clearly. What would your life be like if you trusted your intuition more fully? How might you change your decisions, your relationships, or your approach to challenges if you listened more closely to that inner voice? You have journeyed through the hidden layers of reality, walked with the soul, and tuned into the quiet voice of intuition. But now, the question remains, what is your divine purpose? Why are you here, in this moment, at this time? The ancient sages believed that each soul has a divine purpose, an innate calling that transcends individual desires and material pursuits. This purpose is not something we must search for, but something we must uncover. It is like a seed lying dormant within us, waiting to sprout when the conditions are right. True purpose, according to the sages, is not defined by external achievements or accomplishments. It is an expression of the soul's deepest desires, a reflection of the divine plan for our lives. When we align with this purpose, we move with the cosmic flow, experiencing joy, creativity, and fulfillment. But discovering this purpose requires a willingness to look beyond the ego and connect with the higher self. It requires stepping into a space of surrender, of trust, and of letting go of the illusion that we are separate from the universe. When we align with our divine purpose, we become instruments of the divine, living out our lives as expressions of cosmic wisdom. Consider this. What would your life look like if you were fully aligned with your soul's purpose? What if your every action, every decision, and every moment of your life was guided by the deeper calling within you? The ancient sages knew that living in alignment with your true purpose is the key to happiness and fulfillment. It is not about success as the world defines it, but about finding the unique path that your soul is destined to walk. As we come to the end of our journey through the esoteric realms, we've uncovered profound truths about reality, the soul, and the very essence of life itself. What we've explored together is not the final destination, but rather a glimpse of the infinite, the eternal, and the mysterious. The path we've walked is one that has no true end, only deeper understandings, richer revelations, and a more profound connection to the wisdom that has always been available to us. We've come to realize that reality is far more than what our senses reveal. The world we experience daily is but a reflection of a deeper, unseen truth, a cosmic dance of energy, vibration, and spiritual essence. Through this understanding, we can begin to see with new eyes that perceive the interconnectedness of all things and recognize the divine presence in every moment. We've also seen that death is not the end but a transformation, a continuation of the soul's eternal journey. The ancient sages taught us that life and death are simply two parts of the same cycle, each one necessary for the other, and that the soul, in its infinite wisdom, is ever growing, evolving, and seeking deeper truth. What would it mean for you to live without fear of death, knowing that your soul's journey is ongoing, that each life, each experience is a stepping stone on the path to greater understanding? We've delved into the power of intuition, that inner compass that guides us when the external world becomes chaotic. The ancients called it the inner knowing, a divine whisper that directs us toward our highest truth. Have you listened to this voice within yourself? When was the last time you trusted your intuition and found that it led you exactly where you needed to be? What might it look like if you began to trust this inner voice more deeply, allowing it to guide you through life with wisdom beyond the mind? Go completely still. And finally, we've explored the concept of divine purpose. This idea that each of us is born with a unique mission, not to accumulate material wealth or fleeting achievements, but to express our highest potential and align with the cosmic flow of the universe. When we step into our true purpose, life no longer feels like a series of random events. It becomes a harmonious dance with the universe itself. How aligned are you with your own purpose? Are you living each day in a way that feels connected to your soul's calling? As we reflect on these teachings, I invite you to carry these questions with you as you move forward. The mysteries of the universe are vast, and the more we uncover, the more we realize how much there is yet to discover. I ask you to reflect deeply on the truths we've touched upon today. How can you see the world with new eyes? How can you embrace the mysteries that lie just beneath the surface of existence? I invite you, fellow seeker, to share your thoughts, your experiences, and your questions. This journey is not just mine to walk, it is ours, together. I encourage you to subscribe, stay connected, and share your reflections as we continue this exploration of ancient wisdom and spiritual truths. The conversation has only just begun, and there is so much more to discover. Remember, the path to knowledge and enlightenment is not a straight line, but a winding, infinite journey. The universe whispers its secrets to those who are ready to listen. So, keep your heart open, your mind curious, and your soul attuned to the mysteries that await. The adventure is far from over. Until we meet again, keep exploring, keep seeking, and keep listening to the whispers of the universe. The journey ahead holds secrets yet to be revealed.